East or West, home is best, a program about people who were born in Kazakhstan and left the country, but after a while returned to their homeland. Home is best. It is important to find your own place and business in this world, a business that every day brings you joy and satisfaction. Anton Novotochin is a professional confectioner who learned from the best masters in Paris. Anton is a happy man. He found his job and his mission.
Я очень долго себя искал на самом деле. То есть многие ищут тут всю жизнь.
Indeed, I was looking for myself for a long time. Many people are looking for themselves all life long. Someone finds, someone doesn't. But my search finally brought me to my business that I've been doing with pleasure, which lives in me, and I want to do it. It brings joy to people.
Вообще у меня аллергия была жуткая на все сладкое.
Well, I had horrible allergies to sweets when I was little, and I even had a list of products that I could and couldn't eat.
Антон был замечательным мальчиком.
Anton was a wonderful child. He was the kind of boy, like my friend said, if you give Anton a box of matches, he will get busy with it. He will start building something out of it, make something. He liked to potter about when he was little. But what's most important is that he was very interested in the matter of things.
В школе у нас был урок труда, ну вообще у всех там, да, там сдвоенный урок, сдвоенный в смысле 2 урока, да, в неделю. Мы делали молотки, как сейчас помню, выпиливали молотки из куска железа.
At school we had arts and crafts class. It was a double lesson, which means 2 lessons a week. I remember us making hammers. We were filling the hammers out of a piece of iron, and the girls were cooking.
Смотреть, что они там делают. А у них там было тоже один из уроков кройки и шитья, второй урок это был вот непосредственно приготовление, да. И супер просто я увидел тоже, когда вот девчонки...
At recess, at the end of the first part of our double lesson, we were running to the girls to see what they were doing there. And they had one cutting and sewing lesson, and another one was cooking. And as I remember, I saw the girls cutting cabbage, making some salad or something, and I felt something inside, and I realized what I wanted to do. Of course, at that time, I did not confess that I really wanted to be a cook, but it stayed inside me.
Наступает такой момент, от которого ты идешь либо в одну сторону, либо в другую сторону. Это бывает.
Sometimes there is a point when you start going either one way or the other. Happens to everyone. This happened to Anton when choosing the profession. He was working for quite a long time in sales in a very good company, and at one point he got bored with it. We talked with him. He got bored and he said, "I don't know what I want to do. I already know what I don't want to do." And then he decided maybe he should try studying something to define his future path. And he found these studies. It was the pre-master program in Britain, where he met many guys from many countries. Studies and talking with those guys, living in a different informational atmosphere, I would say. He found an idea for himself, like, this is interesting. The restaurant and hotel business. This was interesting.
Ресторанное гостиничное дело – это интересно.
За границу я поехал, выбрав предварительно университет, в котором я буду учиться. Это была школа
I
гостиниц.
went overseas after I selected a university where I will study. This was the School of Hotel and Restaurant Management in Les Roches, Switzerland. After selecting the program that already meant one university degree, there was another additional education offered. And this additional education, big experience, combined several programs. There were such disciplines like first time dealing with kitchen, with service, with bartendering, sommelier, these kind of programs. Plus, the whole educational process is focused on practicing these trades. And those were the times when I thought that I belonged to the kitchen. Later, after graduating from the hotel school, you had to have hands-on practice to get a diploma. Thanks to my English, I stayed there in Switzerland, got my practice in a small boutique hotel in a little resort town, Interlaken.
Потом, после окончания, значит, вот этой гостиничной школы, для того, чтобы получить диплом, было необходимо пройти производственную практику благодаря немецкому языку.
The program consisted of 3 parts. The first part was the kitchen, second was the service, and the third one was the food and beverage office. Let's call it office work. I went to the kitchen and stayed there for the whole practice period. 2 months later, I realized that I belonged there. The first month I got there, I was assigned for dishwashing. This was a very hard time for me.
Первый месяц, когда я пришел туда, я попал сразу же непосредственно на мойку посуды, да, и это были очень сложное время, очень сложное, потому что, во-первых, я этого никогда раньше не делал, потому что абсолютно другой вещью занимался, и было довольно сложно.
Very hard first because I have never done it. For since I was doing completely different things. It was hard to adjust to it. Hard to understand and very interesting to try it myself. Being an immigrant, when you get to the European Union, you have no other way. You need to take a rag in your hands, work as a cleaner, sweep the streets. Very hard work and low paid. Around 1 month later, I was moved to the kitchen, and everything was new for me. Of course, everything was interesting for me.
И на кухне самое главное это слаженная работа команды. Вот. Безусловно, то есть это как армия, да, шеф это руководитель этой команды, непосредственный, кто раздает приказы, кто своим видом, своей вообще харизмой показывает, куда идти, что нужно
The most
делать.
important thing in the kitchen is the well-coordinated teamwork. It's like an army where the chef is a commander, the one who gives orders, who shows where to go, what to do, who can use some kind word, or sometimes yells, or even can swear. Well, this is his kitchen. Once there was a situation that showed me the focus of the chef that I had in mind as an ideal chef.
Посуду. И в один момент сломалась эта посудомоечная машина.
At that time I was stewarding, dishwashing, and at one point the dishwashing machine broke. And there's an opinion that the second important person at the kitchen after the chef is the dishwasher. Because if the machine is broken, the whole kitchen stops.
Мытье руками это не такие скорости, значит, посуда стала накапливаться.
And after the machine broke, I started washing the dishes with my hands. But since it is not as fast by hands, the dirty dishes started to accumulate more and more. Then the chef comes in, sees what happened, and without any words rolls up his sleeves, stands near me, and starts to wash the dishes.
С другой стороны, такую очень морально-этическую сторону, именно сторону, и опять же харизматичную сторону шефа, как вести за собой кухню, как вести за собой людей.
You would think it's the chef of the kitchen in the boutique hotel. Interesting. This situation showed me the other side, the moral and ethical side, the charismatic side of a chef to run the kitchen, to lead the people. At the kitchen, you are working with people. You are the role model and you are responsible for the well-coordinated work of the whole crew, the work of the kitchen. That's what it means to be a chef. Later, I was moved to the kitchen and worked in the cold and partially in hot shop. The schedule was very tight. The outside conditions were hard too. I was the only Russian-speaking person in the whole town. I did not feel lonely too much, but these circumstances led me to think of my next steps, what I will do next. And I decided to continue my kitchen education, the culinary business in the country, where it has traditional roots and academic trends, in France.
Я поступил в Академию кулинарного искусства. Я изучал там поварское и кондитерское дело одновременно, поработав немного там ассистентом.
I enrolled in the Culinary Art Academy. There I studied cooking and confectionery at the same time. After working as an assistant at the school helping the chef to attend shows, I was fortunate to also hold shows together with the chef who hired the best confectioner in France. And now in the kitchen class, I was in the upper quartet, in the upper part, and in the absolute lower part in the confectionery class, because I have never dealt with a confectionery at that moment. And it was in the school after 2 years of studying when I realized that it is probably in this area where it gets hard for me, where you have to overcome things. You use the diligence, stubbornness that will lead you to something good.
И упорство, которое к чему-то хорошему приведет. Я после 2 курсов пошел работать вместе с шефом, проводить с ним презентации, там же в школе, ассистентом шефа. Для окончания самой академии, уже вот после получения диплома, я пошел на практику в одну из лучших кондитерских, значит, шоколадерий.
After 2 years, I started working with the chef, hold presentations with him, still in school being the chef's assistant, where the academy ends. After getting my diploma, I went for the internship to one of the best chocolate confectionaries, the confectionery of Nicolas Permondet, chef confectioner, who got the award of the best French confectioner in 2004. The science of confection likes precision. For instance, when weighing the ingredients, certain amounts, and precision in the decoration process of the cakes. And this art comes from inside, the art of decoration, and the art of shapes. After 4 years of living in France and Switzerland, I can say that I found my job. And I came back home with this job to Kazakhstan, to Almaty.
И когда он приехал, я не скажу, что это был совсем другой человек. Это был тот же Антон. У него были такие...
When he came back, I can't say he became a different person. He was the same Anton with the same beautiful eyes, same wonderful hands. He was the same talented man. He still loved his mom, but he came back as an adult. I said it was like serving in the army for him.
На эту жизнь, с теми книгами, которые он взял с собой.
He had his own opinion about life. The books he brought back with him surprised me. I mean, the books he was reading. Perhaps this was the time when he finally grew up.
Пожив во Франции, поработав там, поняв, как там устроена жизнь, поняв ментальность людей, я на самом деле понял то, что вот та...
After living in France and working there, having understood the way life works, the mentality of people, I realized that the profession that I got is in a very high demand. I will find my place in Kazakhstan, because the number of such professionals in Europe is much higher than here.
Несколько раз больше, чем у нас. Вот, и я, в общем-то, принял решение, приехав сюда, организовать свой...
So after I came here, I decided to start my own confectionery booth. I am developing a project, equipping it, and making technical arrangements to enter the market with a ready concept.
Все-таки, если мы возвращаемся к вопросу быть кондитером, что значит быть кондитером?
Well, coming back to the question of being a confectioner, what is it like to be a confectioner? For me, being the confectioner is to be a festive person. You create holiday, you create happiness for other people, because such things like cakes. What is a cake? Cake is always a holiday. It is made for a special event, whether it is a wedding, a birthday, New Year, any other event. It is some ceremonial part. And when you have this trade in your hands, you pass this celebration through yourself. You share it, and this celebration is expressed artistically from inside of me. The confectioner is the festive person. Kazakhstan for me, first of all, is my hometown of Almaty, the city where my family and friends live. It's a very beautiful, bright, and multinational city. I have been to many places. I've met lots of people. And this is the place where I will always want to come back to.
Другие мамы меня поймут. Когда твой сын, не дочь, которую ты привыкла видеть...
Other mothers will understand me when your son, your daughter are used to seeing you in the kitchen. You taught them something. When your son brings you a cake or some amazing eclairs or some handmade pastries. I cook very well, and I can appreciate it when my son is making it. It is amazing.